Hello and welcome
Hello and
back
welcome.
to God, I hate you so much, but it was so perfectly done. This is Bleeding Hearts Part 2, Part 2. It
Okay.
is poorly named because I make poor decisions with my life. Last time ran a little long, which is to be expected when there are 5 objectives and 4 runners. But I believe Kat was mentioning how he remembers.
I don't remember anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't said anything.
Now
Half of it is in the news. So
you're just manipulating my emotions on a general
Or
level now.
good.
So
We filled a guy full of holes, and then we brought his girlfriend back into the fold. She works for Horizon again. That was 2 out of
See,
5.
you ruined it. We had the chance to force him to do the recap himself.
yeah.
Don't forget, we filled a car full of holes too.
I can't stand broadcasting dead air, so I'm here to help
Okay,
myself. If that's
fine.
So
counts.
what you're saying
Fine.
is, if I'm just quiet, you'll do the rest of the run for me?
Apparently,
Sure, if you let me roll all the dice too.
not
Sweet.
for that. At least he won't cheat.
I sent out a link to you guys for the list again, I believe, on Skype.
Yep, there's 2 left.
Yeah. Let me pull that up on my end so that I have that available to me. What
Sure.
I believe you were rather industrious, and out of the couple of days that you guys have already been given, you only used like 1.5.
It was half a day. Actually, the Johnson said he was hoping we'd run take care of this whole run within a week or less, and it took us 11 hours to get 3 out of 5 off the list. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we rolled pretty quick.
I was not expecting 8 successes from a Horizon/Shadow affiliated contact that was like, here you go. But hey,
there's blood type and their dog's name.
yeah, it's like, all right, congratulations.
You now have information. Go.
Would you like what they had for dinner? They haven't had dinner yet. They're meeting you for dinner.
Next question.
So I do believe it was something super late at night or early morning, due to meeting times and then a gunfight and then dropping somebody off. I see an 11 p.m. meeting at the Three-Legged Mare, which I believe was where you met these 2 folks, Jesse and James, to hire them to do a job that you really didn't need done, and then shoot one in the face and make the blood splash artistically across the face of the other one.
Yeah. I
So
think you're right.
there is a Gordon Ray and a Barton Williams that you guys still have to track down. It is late. I imagine most people went to sleep because nothing gets you ready to go to bed like a gunfight, right?
Sure.
relaxing gunfights. Yeah.
Register didn't get a lot of sleep because he hasn't seen death that close before. But yeah, it was supposed to be bedtime.
All Tizit did was yell at people.
That's
Monday has no problem sleeping.
you just go. She kind of goes into more of a power down mode, I imagine.
Pretty much.
Tizit also did not sleep well.
That's unfortunate. So,
That really is.
the next morning will come with rosy, smog-colored fingers. What time do you guys want to get started, and where would you like to start? You want to go get some breakfast at the Soy Waffle House?
That's up to everybody else.
Well, before we even meet up, we could maybe just put the web out there, like see if any of our contacts could help us track down either of these 2
Sure.
remaining people.
We can throw a whole bunch of dice. I love dice.
Madness.
So go ahead and throw some dice and label it appropriately for whatever it is you're trying to do.
Connection times 2 plus loyalty, right? For
Yep.
general stuff. If I'm asking like a fixer, have you ever heard of these people? Okay.
Yep. So I troll through some character sheets here. Gotta get them all in order and stuff. Hey Eddie. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, if only he had glitched of that that connection test. I was like, isn't that your name?
Oh yeah.
Anybody else want to throw some dice?
Matrix search.
Sure. Anybody else before I go into some deets?
Go ahead.
I was gonna roll one more for the other character.
Sure.
Same here.
I forgot his name. I know he was the guy that was extracted.
Yeah, that's why I had to look it up.
Okay. So yeah, no, he's definitely not heard of a Barton Williams, unfortunately. A Gordon Ray, not. He hasn't heard of a person by that name. At least not. I assume you are, rather than just asking a name, going for a little bit more of the details you have there, because his lawn care specialist could be named Gordon Ray.
Right, yeah. Do you know of someone who has gone into the shadows recently with this actual name who used to work for Horizon? But that's all we have, really, right?
Yeah. With the specifics accompanying it, he doesn't have anybody off the top of his head. He can do some digging, but surprise, surprise, people in the shadow industry don't usually stick around with their real names or buy up a whole bunch of other names. So.
And we don't have pictures for either of these two that we have left on the list either, so that is going to make it harder.
Yeah. With 3 hits on your matrix search, though, for Mr. Barton, you don't necessarily get much on him. He was you do.
What about Barricade and Poison Lily?
Yeah, if you guys want to do fixer connections on the runners, that would probably be a bit more, let's call it productive.
I like productive.
Because, fixers hire runners, they don't hire Gordon and Barton.
Right.
But your matrix search for Barton will reveal a time, date, that kind of stuff of an incident that happened at the the Horizon sales facility that they were at when bad things happened, which will then help you narrow things down through a more shadow-oriented connection roll. If you guys want to go ahead and throw that.
I will go ahead and I will check on Miss Bliss and see if she knows anything about this Poison Lily, because their names sound strangely familiar. So she is 4-3, so that is 11d6. So
That's connection times 2 plus loyalty, right?
Yep. Go ahead and throw these guys in here.
no good with that.
Man, those random number generator cubes.
It's alright, because she's not the only fixer I have anymore. Because I have gone and branched out and found a whole lot of fixers.
You're selling your brand, as it were.
Yep. And
Oh my.
let's see, this is a 5-1. Check it with Selena MacArthur on Poison Lily. She got 3 hits.
Let me draw some boxes here.
I'm not asking Jones because he'd say you're supposed to figure that out and hang up on me.
What a dick.
He is.
Barricade and Poison Lily, those were the names of the runners who extracted Barton Williams, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to clarify? Okay.
Yep.
Barricade's a pretty
Is
sweet name.
aliases.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
That's not a bad name.
I believe there was one more die roll coming, or is that it?
That's all I got.
All I got
Is
is-
Tizit going to ask around at all?
I'm gonna try Shadow Community.
That'll be good.
To zork the hell out of him.
That will be super relevant.
as my cat starts to wrestle around her toys in the tub.
Sounds like that would be super annoying.
It's hilarious because she'll chase them, she'll drag them into the tub, kill them, bring them back. It's like, okay, throw it again.
So, you throw it, she grabs it, drags it to the tub, and then brings it back?
Yeah, she wrestles around in there because that's her killing field, I guess. She brings the toy back to fetch.
If we could be a cat for a day to understand how things work would be crazy. So, your Selena MacArthur role is for the runners, right?
Yes, the runners.
Okay, so with looking up the runners, you're going to get all told, you'll get this information. It'll be a little bit of pieces here and a little bit of pieces there. They are mostly independents, but are in that situation where, yeah, you may hire me, but I know a guy that can also help and kind of throw each other recommendations back and forth that has kind of worked out. Nothing more than a professional relationship. Barricade is a giant troll, as one would think.
Oh, really?
Street samurai. Surprise, surprise. Poison Lily is a elf shaman.
Barricade. That name sounds familiar.
I'm gonna blame Summer, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, as most street samurai tend to be, he is heavily augmented. The shaman, who knows what she is really up to, given as, them magic types are bastards. You are able to get, let's just flip a coin here real quick.
Oh, jeez.
So you are actually able to get a connection to Barricade, like his comm code, if you wanted to actually reach out and talk to him. Marcus, ever heard of a Gordon Ray? He vaguely remembers that there was a run and one of the let's call them pseudo-innocent bystanders was a person around that name. Something like that. Sounds familiar.
So the first real lead is maybe we talk to Barricade.
For Barton Williams, yes. For Gordon, there was a run.
Oh, right.
Where his name as a bystander, how there's those cover-up news events that kind of happen. He was, let's call him a patsy.
Quoted in a news story or something else?
Well, Shadowruns happen, but the rest of the world is mostly ignorant of the actual goings-on. And one of the runs, one of the stories after one of the runs listed his name as kind of where your fixer remembers it from. He was checking up on he had actually hired the runners who did the job. And it's one of those things. You always want to check up on your work and see what happened. Because if your guys are geeking people and telling you they're not, well, you're going to find out in the news.
You don't ever want to find out in the news.
No.
Right.
Matter of fact, if there's a list of places to find out, the news is probably not on that list.
No. So you guys can head further down the hired runners who find the runners who did the job for the Gordon Ray thing, or you have the professional relationship Barricade Poison Lily people you can track down. You do have Barricade's number.
Here's where Register would defer to the other runners here because he's not been part of the Shadow community, as it were, for very long. Is it cool to just call up someone and say, hey, look, we have your comm code and we know you were involved in this previous job. we can make it worth your half hour to come tell us what you know. Like, is that the kind of question that someone would just randomly answer for $500 or whatever?
Probably not.
Yeah,
I
probably.
mean, that's my
not.
guess. Yeah.
The
That
question
screams trap.
the question is, how many bucks would it cost?
Right. And is it worth the money for whatever we're going to get out of him?
There is also the secondary option of using his comm code to find out where he is and then go arrange a more personal meeting.
That
It's
is
a
true.
troll street, Sam.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is there such a,
reminding-
I guess Reaper's AFK, but still listening? I'm wondering if there's an option where maybe that comm code shows up in past history with something having to do with that extraction. I mean, I'm sure it's unlikely.
It's
That-
one of those situations where this is his current comm code.
Right.
Whichever of the three fixers that got a bunch of hits knows a guy
I got 3.
who knows a guy who Barricade actually works for. One of those knows a guy who knows a guy who owes a favor, who knows a guy.
That owes another favor.
Yeah, you know, favors the currency of the shadows.
I've heard that.
Okay, I'm back.
I like
so-
Vegan personally.
So there's no way I can track that com code on the matrix, right?
You
Well, if
could,
it's his like
Then yes.
current contact info, then it probably had nothing to do with the previous run, like I was asking, but it could help us track him down now.
you could like search the matrix for it, and then start throwing marks on it to get its physical location and know where he is, and then go ask him the hard questions in person.
Okay, so it's possible, but I think it might take him off if somehow he finds out that we're hacking his comm link to track
Well,
him.
You may be right.
I don't know about you, but I get really upset when I just receive emails for things I didn't sign up for.
Yeah, maybe it is worth considering the option that we just hit him up out of the blue and say we're willing to offer some cash.
Because that's doing so great for us so far.
Well, it has. We haven't gotten shot yet.
Yet is a very important qualifier.
True. Yeah.
For Gordon Murray, you said he's an innocent bystander in some news story?
Yeah, there was like shadow runs happen. The real world, gets covered up because that's how corporations work. And then of the people that, get thrown under the bus, his name was one of those people.
Hmm.
In a news story or in rumors on Jackpot or something like that?
So this was in like the front actual trade newspaper type thing.
So would the journalist know anything about him?
Do you have a journalist contact you want to?
No, but the one who wrote the story, I mean, we should probably can find which paper he works at. It's probably something public.
Sure.
Okay.
Let me push my random name generator, and we will see the name of said journalist.
Did we determine it was Monday's fixer who was the one that hired the runners for that job? Because that's
I
definitely a
don't
lead.
know.
It was definitely not Jones. It wasn't like a direct contact that one of you guys have, but like he knew a guy who knew a guy. So
Oh,
like
okay. So we could get in touch with that fixer.
a couple more steps, and you would have Kevin Bacon.
Okay. Or maybe we're talking about a Johnson then.
That might actually make a little bit more sense. A fixer and a Johnson connection.
We're hiring another one for Fake Run.
No,
right,
I meant,
so
it looks
we-
like the info we got was that we could get in touch with the person who put that job together where Gordon Ray shows up in a news story as a bystander in the past. So
Okay,
we could
so-
talk to someone to arrange that.
I'm a little confused about something. We have like this Gordon Ray guy's sin, right?
You have like parts of it. It doesn't have like his picture associated with it, but you have most of his personal information. Yes.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out why it wouldn't have a picture of him. But, okay. All right. Continue on.
It as if somebody had partially tried to delete it, but was not successful.
Right.
Or it was like intentionally sloppily put together and created from scratch. Like it screams rating 1 sin from a game's rules perspective.
Sure. I'm good at that. All right. Well, I guess we're going to track down this troll and talk to him. Seeing that's pretty much the only lead that I think we have, unless I missed one.
I would vote for Gordon Ray first because trolls with giant cyber
Okay.
arms are much
Then
more
we'll go
likely to
talk to
send me to
Gordon
the
Ray
hospital.
first.
I don't know. What's everybody else thinking?
Let's see. Pretty sure I'm gonna be thinking I need some different ammunition, but that's just me right now.
Yeah, expecting to fight him?
Nope. But never hurts to plan for the worst.
Reaper, Tizzit, have any votes on which direction we go first?
Best lead is the troll right now.
Yeah, it is the best lead.
I can kind of concur with that. I mean, we have more information in regards to Troll. Even though Troll is a street Sam, so stabbing is possible. There's those pointy things.
All right, so how open, upfront, etc. are we when we approach this guy? I'm like the track him down and then just jump out of the shadows and corner him version seems pretty dicey to me.
I don't see why we have to lie to him at all. He got paid for a job. What does he care about the person anymore? Way to
Right.
fail there, Boris. So, yeah, I don't see a reason why we would need to lie to him. And if we have a Decker that's on his comm link when we're doing the snooping on him, if he does have something to hide, then he's going to call somebody and say, hey, hide that guy. People are looking for him. And then we know who to track from there.
Good idea.
All right, someone call him out of the blue. Tizzit.
It's still early in the morning. Do you guys want to do that now, or you want to wait until later on in the day?
Noon, maybe?
Do we have any other leads on the other people? Because I don't think that we do yet.
Your sim would have your address on it, right?
Would have.
All right, yeah, no.
I mean,
It would. So this sim would totally have his Gordon's last known address, as it were.
well, then we can go check that out, I suppose. But,
I was
Chance
thinking
that we'll
that
find it.
sins were mostly physical stuff. Did not think that it would also include like vehicular registration and
Well, whatever's tied to it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Where is it tied? Have you got that info offhand? Like where Gordon Ray was last listed as living?
Let me open up a Seattle Shadowrun map. I'm going to ask Kat here because I don't really know. Is Horizon partial to any specific place?
Not really.
Okay, so I'm going to find a... Oh, this map is way too complex
One
for
in
me.
downtown.
Yeah, you know what? I like downtown. Because downtown has lots of wonderful things to it. Lived in downtown apartment block. It is a few blocks from his previous work.
All right, well, we'll head there then. Or at least I will. I don't know about the others, but that's cool. Let me go ahead and get a disguise set up. So,
do your makeup.
Yeah, okay, same. If Monday could give Register a ride, because I still don't have a car.
What a slacker. But yes, totally.
You do have money with which you wish, if you wish to buy a car.
Yeah, it felt more like in the night between last night and this morning, I couldn't have bought one with a smuggling compartment and a morphing license plate.
All right, well that might be a little bit more shady, but is anybody else going to this downtown apartment?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus, who are you anymore?
Reaper's help would definitely be cool. Check for some cameras and stuff if we're gonna break and enter.
Breaking and enter.
I'm going.
So we're rolling 4 deep.
Is
I
it coming along?
guess. He's putting on his
Where are we
footy.
going? Are we going after the street? I missed something.
We're gonna scope Gordon Ray's last listed apartment in downtown before, because it's like 9 or something in the morning, before we call a Shadowrunner who might sleep till afternoon.
Oh,
A large angry troll Shadowrunner who might sleep until noon.
We know he's large, but we don't know he's angry.
Oh. How many well-adjusted street samurai have you... Wait, you're a bad question.
Okay.
Person asked that question.
All right, so we're going to head to that location then. Pull up about 3 blocks away, and Monday gets out of the car and starts heading towards the apartment.
There is conveniently a couple of shops on the little stretch here. Most of them are the Horizon versions of Noodle Shop and Electronics Store and that kind of stuff. But very Horizon-oriented area.
Any like a parking deck kind of place where I could park a car that's not going to be like sitting in a business parking lot that could possibly be towed?
Yeah, no, you can totally find a parking garage that is in the
Perfect.
immediate area, and it's just kind of one of those multi-floor jobs that's got a row of stores on the bottom level, so that this way when you come down to leave, you have to walk through the stores.
Are we talking AAA security right now?
So this particular area is a significantly more branded into the Horizon family, but it's not like you have armed guards and that kind of stuff.
This is where wage slaves and middle managers live, basically, before they roll into work.
Yeah, it's for the people that don't work for anything important. Like, this guy was a courier, so he's gonna get packages and deliver and that kind of stuff, but not exactly breaking down the doors of the upper echelons of Horizon corporate family stuff.
Can we get Reaper to check out what kind of like surveillance or security measures there might be to break into someone's apartment through the front door before we actually walk up on foot?
Sure.
You guys can. I mean,
you guys can roll some perception checks and some matrix perception tests and some of that other wonderful stuff. With 4 hits on your matrix perception, you can see that this has got tons of wonderful advertisements all over the place. It also has, your fairly standard for a nicer area of town cameras. Oh my, I'd forgotten about that dice roll. Jesus.
It's just that one.
What other kind of crazy questions would you like to have as I open up my my copy of the 5th edition book?
Are the cameras slave to anything?
There is a host, which is what I'm looking for right now. Host rating.
how many floors is this apartment building, and what floor is he on?
He is on the 3rd floor of the apartment building. It is an 8-story apartment building.
Can you walk in or buzz in or pass security guard or what?
Yeah, you are able to freely walk in. Come and go as you please. It will
like breezeways and then the door.
Yeah.
All right, I'll head in. I will head in.
Let me host rating apartment. Thinking low-end commercial, private business, but lower small play. It's gonna be a rating for host for the apartment.
Okay, are the locks on the doors also slave to the host?
Yeah, everything about the building would be slave to said host.
All right. So
Yeah, that's a great place to start.
find an innocuous device somewhere.
All right. Well, we know what door his is, so I'm going to knock on one of the neighbors' doors.
Sure. Do you want? Are you doing hacking stuff, or are you gonna wait for Monday to walk inside and?
Let
They're
Monday
doing hacking stuff.
do a thing.
Okay. Well, I
I'll
wasn't
think
sure
about
if they
it.
were gonna since they could kind of just like walk in. Um,
I'm gonna follow around the corner, but play with AR and just like listen in to see what Monday's doing at the door.
there is a noodle shop that you could totally hang out in because there's always a noodle shop. But Monday is going in up to his neighbor.
I'm gonna follow up to that floor, but stay around the corner.
Sure.
I will. Tizit will check out the noodle shop. He's going to talk to the noodle shop owner.
Can I
She'll adjust her coat. And
get
Gray, knock
some etiquette from Monday and Tizit since they are interacting with people?
Sure thing.
I didn't know I was interacting yet, but cool. I can do that.
Well, you're knocking on somebody's door.
Certainly am.
Presumably, somebody is going to answer that, and it would be.
What else would the point be?
Well, I'm on Rob's table, so no telling. So I'm just going with the flow here.
You hurt me when you say things like that.
I try. I try so hard.
So let me just click this generate random name again real quick. A tired-looking middle-aged guy is going to answer the door. He looks more along the manual labor side of things, perhaps a custodial engineer. Looks very tired, as it is noon. He probably worked the overnight shift because that is when you have your undesirable manual labor people clean your facilities.
Right. I give him a casual smile. It's like, good afternoon. It is afternoon, right, GM?
If that is when you guys went, I believe that's
Yes.
around the time.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I can see that you are resting, and I'm terribly sorry for interrupting your sleep, but I am Vicky Brissett. I am with Knight Errant, and I am going to give him my internal affairs license.
Oh, shit.
And I was wondering if perhaps I could ask you a few questions about one of your neighbors, or former neighbors, actually.
So when you mention Knight Errant, he's gonna, all of a sudden stand up fairly straight and get a little less of that "oh God, I'm going to jail" face when you mention that you're the neighbors and the internal affairs part. He's like, okay, I'm not getting arrested right this moment. He'll do, come in, and he will.
Well, thank you very much. She nods her head to him and steps inside, takes her coat off, and hangs it over her shoulder as she walks inside. How familiar were you with Mr. Ray that lived next door to you?
He's gonna kind of rub at his head for a minute and be like, let me just go get a soy calf, and he's gonna walk over to his soy calf.
She nods. Please.
Can I get you one?
Oh yes, thank you.
So we're gonna do a dice roll here. Memories. So he's gonna come back over and sit down and offer you the whatever passes for a cream and sugar in the sixth world.
She'll take them both.
And then he will begin to give you some of the information you already know. He worked as a courier. He was in and out at all kinds of different times. Generally a nice guy.
Do you know any of the people that he used to spend time with? I mean, as I said, this is just an investigation. No one is in trouble yet. We're trying to figure out where he has been. He's turned up missing, and we're trying to locate him.
He's going to take a moment to Is that what Reaper is doing, or are you doing something else crazy in there?
Well, it's kind of conspicuous to just hack on a door, but I was thinking to go in the bathroom maybe. I don't see any device that I could plug into directly that would be right in the path.
Reaper, you're a little quiet.
Okay. I'm figuring I have to go somewhere quiet to jack in. I don't think there's any device that I wouldn't like stand out like a sore thumb if I tried to plug into it physically, right?
It would probably be a little awkward to just roll up to like your door and jack into it, but
I was thinking like you could go in the bathroom and plug into the condom dispenser or something. I mean, there's a zillion things with universal data ports, right?
there is a zillion things, but at the same time,
Is the toilet a device that's
that is a different type of plugging in that is kind of gross.
Or you could maybe do it through AR somewhere, just at a table.
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be harder, but I think I can manage it.
I believe in you. Those seem to be normalized. He's not exactly let's
Right.
call it a nice employee. This is probably slightly above the low lifestyle area. It's got
Sure.
nicer stuff than just low lifestyle, but you notice it's all Horizon branded, so that
Mhm.
kind of works out. He's gonna so he called her a personal assistant, but it was probably more a coworker who put him onto jobs, that kind of thing, by the name of Trexie May.
Trixie May. She nods as she takes a note in like her AR notebook.
I
Is that
think she still works at the company a couple of blocks
that is
away.
that's extremely useful. Thank you very much, sir. And again, I am terribly sorry for interrupting your rest. And she stands up. She's like, oh yeah. She snaps her fingers. You wouldn't happen to have like any photographs of him because it seems like somebody has taken an effort to damage his SIN records, and we're having trouble tracking that down.
He will have that moment that a wage slave has, that somebody would, shatter his belief of what somebody can actually hack the SIN registry.
Mhm.
He's like, no, I don't think. And then he's gonna kind of get his comm link out and flip through it real quick. While he's doing that, do you want to do some
I'll
hackifying?
take a casual look around too. So,
Sure, you can roll me a perception at the L apartmento.
but yeah, go ahead with the hacking stuff. I don't want to take everything up with social engineering.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in the bathroom, switch into Hudson VR, run silent. I'm gonna look for the mag lock for the door. We have an address, so I guess a matrix perception should be enough to spot it.
Sure. Yep. So you can totally spot it. It has rating force. What hackifying questions would you like to ask?
Important ones.
What's the device rating?
It's just device rating 2. It's just a.
Okay, so I got three or four questions left.
Yep.
3 or 4.
3, I think.
Okay, give me all the ratings on the host except data processing.
Write that down here underneath this. There you go.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with a hack on the fly on the lock.
Sure. You're also still really quiet.
How's that?
a little bit better. Oh my god.
That happened.
Alright, ready? Here I go. Oh, Jesus. Alright.
That's like even less statistically probable. Like way less.
Yeah.
Good job.
Makes me kind of sad that I didn't get to just shut you down. That made things way more interesting.
Yeah. So,
It's pretty interesting as it is. Look at all those damn dice.
so through DNI, register you at the door.
I am at the door.
Okay. Are there any cameras inside the apartment? With that, yeah. Yeah, hack on the fly and did it on the lock, so I can only ask 9 questions about the lock.
I I do believe it's only 1 per 2 net hits, so
Yeah, too well. I've got nothing else about the lock.
you'll be happy to know that it is a nice Horizon branded lock. That is it's nice.
Let me do another matrix perception for the cameras.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, any cameras inside the apartment?
At the moment, there's yes, there's mainly a large, not a large camera, a camera in the large hallways out front, and then a couple of cameras inside the apartment, as all uh, nice corporate-owned buildings tend to have. But they are not reporting any, I guess, motion or activity inside, as if whoever lives there is not there at current.
All right. Any. I'm gonna not gonna ask for silent running icons. There's probably a bunch of them. Okay, let's go on with hacking then. I'm gonna do I'm gonna enter the host. Yeah.
Okay. You are inside the host, and Monday, he's like, no, I don't seem to have any pictures on my comm left laying around.
No problem.
I can give you a description if you like.
That would be whiz. Thank you.
All right.
We know he's an orc. That's about all that we know about him currently.
Well, yeah. Brown hair, eyes, about 200 pounds. Caucasian.
Mhm.
Um,
She does.
he does the hand thing to about his height, which is about the 6'1".
Right.
He's I think about my age, but it's kind of hard to tell with orcs.
She smiles.
He's a nice looking guy though, like, kept himself well put together and that kind of stuff.
hmm
If there is anything specific, he would be more than happy to answer
No,
them.
no, thank you. I think that's all I need, and I may go interview some of the other residents. But you have been very helpful. Thank you very much for your assistance. Oh, and thank you also for the soy calf. She
He'll
smiles at him.
he'll ask like anything for did I guess they call them the Star or something like that?
The knights, I guess.
The Knights, whatever.
She nods and she'll head out, and so that takes care of that one. Next, I'll probably go interview the building superintendent, possibly once we figure out what the other guys come up with.
Sure. So while you're going down some flights of stairs, you are inside the host. Are you doing anything with the door yet, or?
Well, I'm asking Register if he's planning to go inside because there's 2 cameras. I'm not sure I can handle them both to keep you out of the filter. Not for long, anyway.
Well, I'm pretty confident in my disguise roll. So I'll just go in at this point.
Okay.
If he's saying now or never, then yeah, I'll go in.
No, hold on. It's not unlocked yet. So
okay.
To unlock the lock, that would be a simple or complex action.
It'd just be a spoof command. Almost all Matrix actions are complex
I
actions.
don't know what you calling it.
I'm calling it words. All right. They are words and things.
You have the best words?
I do have the best word. What was the one I said at work the other day? I don't remember what it was. It was as I work at 6:15 in the morning. I I'm not exactly the most awake, which is moderately terrifying, given that I drive about 35 minutes at about 80 miles an hour.
That works for me.
Oh yeah, you're far away.
I know,
So,
right? I feel perfectly fine.
so if I'm
Uh,
getting this right, since I'm inside the host, the maglock resists with 4 dice, right?
you have a direct connection to it, I believe.
So it's device rating times 2, just before I decide if I edge or not.
Yeah. Are you happy with that level of success?
If it's 4 dice, yes, I am. If I'm directly connected to it, just making sure your interpretation of it is the same as mine.
That's good enough for me for now.
Okay.
Ah.
Man, you're rolling high today.
Monday, have you shared all of your relevant information that you have
Of course.
gathered? Okay. I wasn't sure if this was just like a play-by-play while you're having the conversation, or if it's like I finished the conversation, data dump the team.
Now I've got a connection so they can hear me. I'm talking through my micro transceiver.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And then I imagine,
Because I don't want to keep them completely in the dark.
right. It's just, making sure, because it could have gone either way. So you have spoof the command, which will happen, conveniently, cinematically timed as Register is walking down the hallway. He will reach the door, pause for just that moment as though it is checking your credentials, and it goes click.
All right, yeah, I'll just nonchalantly open the door, walk in, close it behind me, then take a look.
All right, so as you go inside, the lights begin to slowly dim into on. You can go ahead and roll some perception text.
Got it.
Do I spot any ICs in the...
There is
The
patrol ice running, which is, standard.
Okay, it doesn't seem alerted or anything.
Nope, nothing crazy seems to be going on.
I'm going to try and look for camera archives for near that apartment. It's maybe perception, or search, I'm not sure.
It would be a matrix search. It would take you a couple of actual minutes to... Man, that is one of the questions from Dungeon World.
Yeah, I keep rolling at my mental limit, it seems like. Just 6 every time.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's, consistent. So, looking around, it's a...
Oh,
So-
it's 5, actually.
if you have vision enhancement, it will increase your limit for...
Oh, okay, when it's 8.
Yeah.
That
But just for
wasn't Jim
visual
telling you
stuff.
to shut up. He was just being.
I was trying to be educational.
He's being helpful. This is always helpful. Every run so far.
All
Very
one,
helpful.
right?
Yeah, I have visual and hearing enhancement, so
As do most people, because they are super cheap and super useful.
yeah.
So it's a fairly standard apartment. It does not look as though it has been cleaned yet. There is, however, a little bit of dust, as if somebody had not been here for a while, and the poor Roomba is unable to get up on top of the various furniture to clean
Right.
it. It is diligently sitting in its charging station, waiting to do things. Do you just kind of look around, or do you actually just move through the apartment, kind of doing stuff?
Yeah, I'll move from room to room, like assuming I'm gonna give myself between 5 and 10 minutes here before I start to get worried that maybe I need to leave. Like I'm
Sure.
looking for anything that tells us how recently was the last time he was here. Anything that said what he might have been doing the last time he left the building.
So you know how they have those like like nowadays they have those stock photo pictures things that have little like whatever the sixth world equivalent of that is. There's a picture there of a young woman. There is a couple of like free running type courier outfits. Some of those similar bags. The Horizon branded food in the fridge has basically spoiled. One of those things where, yeah, stuff will stay in a fridge for a fairly long time, but after After
Which
a
you wouldn't
couple of
get.
weeks, well, if you were a robust orc or troll, you would probably still eat it, or if you were, squatter lifestyle, but you would probably not.
All right. So the photo, when you say stock photo, like it's not really someone he knows.
So I'm not really sure how photos are normally displayed. It probably would pop up maybe in AR as you approach the little table.
Sure.
Right.
That there is a picture of a woman on there. As you look at like the file name, it has the Trixie May as the file name, I guess it would be.
Right. Well, I'll share that image with the group then, because we already knew that name.
You knew the name, but now you have a picture.
Right.
But yeah, no, you have 6 successes. If there are other specific things you want to know about being in here, you are more than welcome to ask them.
You said I already picked out a couple bags that looked like they might carry him. He might carry those as like part of his day job.
Yeah, you know those like sideways messenger bags?
Right, like the one strap guys.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or the ones that are like go from shoulder to hip and that kind of stuff.
Sure, yeah. So I'm not worried about leaving fingerprints because I got gloves on. So I'll just go through those bags
Just
real quick.
one pair? What a slacker.
Um,
But you're gonna leave glove prints.
Well, that's true. But
sure.
those are cheaper than fingerprints to erase, right?
Yeah. Tizzit, you got like 3 hits on your etiquette, if memory serves, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So
More back there.
your conversation with the noodle shop guy is mostly about noodles. His industry doesn't exactly operate on a first name basis. It's mostly in which number do you want, and he is talking you into buying whatever the lunch special for today is. Because, it's one of those things where I'm not going to talk unless you buy something. Because... And then the information he gives you isn't super useful.
What a dick.
Now that we have the picture of Trexie, I want to show him that picture. I'm going to show him the picture and see if he recognizes her since he doesn't work on names.
So he will look at it and, well, let me roll some dice and see how good he dices things. So he will look at it and kind of shake his head like, no, doesn't ring any bells. I'm usually pretty good with faces.
I'm gonna thank him for
Does
his
he
time.
knock on the table when he says that?
I have no idea what the connotation of that is.
Or maybe rub his thumb over his forefingers?
Okay. No, he has already gotten his noodle lunch special out of this guy, so he's pretty good. You notice that the price that you paid for it was not the same as what was on the menu, but it is still
Clearly
Awesome.
he's lit up.
still lifestyle. Do you want to go to another place, or are you just gonna sit there and eat your noodles?
I'll sit there and eat my noodles. I'm gonna wait for some more information for the group before I go to another. Try to find someone who might be more likely outside.
Sure. So Monday, how are you finding the super? Are you stomping angrily to the desk, or are you?
I imagine no, because I'm a professional. I'm here to do a job. I've conducted myself professionally. So I'm gonna head down to the front desk and ask if I can speak with the supervisor.
There will be. Well, let's get one more etiquette, see how well this goes, and see how cooperative this person is going to be.
They're
If
gonna
you're
be extremely cooperative one way or another.
when you throw the KE thing in there, if you want to do it at like +3, because
Right, KE gets things done.
yeah, contrary to what Lone Star would have you believe.
Right.
Okay. So with 4 hits, he is gonna be lackadaisical in his work, and when you mention the KE thing, it'll be very yes ma'am, no ma'am, snapping to. The Super. Can you do me just a quick edge roll, and we'll see if he's in today? He may be. He may not be.
I can try. We'll see how it goes.
Everything I have learned from TV is that supers are never around.
Yeah, they are. They're always there when it's rent day.
Oh my God! What?
That's how they antagonize Spider-Man and try to get him hooked up with their daughter.
Let me look back at was 2078 a leap year as well?
Okay.
Because we did this on Thursday, and it being the next day would be super relevant, actually. Um, because that would make it.
No, because it's multiples of 4, right? So it would be 2076, and then 2080 would be the next leap years.
Which would then put today's end game date being the 26th as a Friday, which is the end of the month. So he is in the building in his office doing some paperwork because it is end of the month. Time to find out who he's throwing out.
Hot damn! Look at that. As I shine my nails.
The guy is that's some good thing.
I countered your bullshit with greater bullshit.
I'm sorry that my tropes of the super never wanting to like do anything productive for the thing was trumped by the super's significant love of money.
And the time of month.
Right.
That matters just as much.
That is super important for when it comes to that kind of thing.
Super important.
So where were you that was about to get locked in and have HDR called on you? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you can't do that to him. He's winning.
Wait, you're mad at me for pointing out you made an accidental great pun?
No, it was just the natural order of the world correcting itself as I removed the source of the pun. So the young guy who is working the counters, like he's in his office. I can see if he is available, but it's end of the month. He's fairly busy.
She nodded her head. I understand. Just let him know I'll be out here waiting for him.
Yep, and he will go over to the thing and make the call / connection / knock tentatively on the door as if he's about to have his head bitten off by a rampaging monster. So Razor, it's been a couple of minutes in the apartment. Is there anything else you want to do in here, or are you feeling pretty good?
Did I come up with anything in his courier bags that made it look like gave any impression of what he was doing the last time he was in the apartment?
Life, basically. Like nothing super. Courier isn't a job where you like take stuff home.
Right.
You go pick up stuff. You drop stuff at wherever it is you are paid to drop stuff. These are a couple of bags in differing sizes, so that you can make the easy assumption when he gets the call to go do a courier gig, it'll be like, all right, well, how big of a thing, and then the bag, and then if it is a longer thing, because I had a buddy of mine whose dad did a courier every once in a while, he would have to drive to a couple of states away, and
right.
You pack an overnight bag, you get some personal effects because you're going to be gone for a while.
Is there a comlink, like a physical comlink, by any chance left somewhere in the apartment that I've found?
There is not. That is the kind of thing that you carry on you.
Family photo? Anything I could steal? This is just my character having a peccadillo for leaving with something personal whenever he breaks it.
Let me think for a moment on something of personal importance that might have been left behind, and we will pop over to Reaper. Do you want to do anything in the Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was searching for
oh, that's right.
old camera feeds.
You
To get I'm hoping to get an image of the guy when he was in his apartment. Maybe I don't know how long ago we know he was living here.
It looked about like a month or so. That a couple of weeks. February is kind of weird because it's on the shorter side. Did you roll the Matrix search and I'm just not seeing it, or
I'm gonna do so. I reconfigured to use browse, so the search will take twice as less time.
Yep. So you're able to find some of the, let's call it archives that have some of the older camera feeds. They seem to be like fully archived after like the end of the month, which I believe is something that's not readily accessible in the host. I think that's like almost a foundation type situation.
Yeah, it would be.
Um,
So you mean that the video was from January, and now
yeah,
we're now
the
at the end. Okay.
the the January video is not present because it has been, when you get to wherever it is you find the February video, um, is like, January moved to archive as of Feb 1, and then,
Yeah.
however, searching through the February stuff, a lot of fast forwarding and things, you will see that you don't see him in there at all. On February 2nd, you will catch a glimpse of people in very nice suits coming in. Then the feed from inside of the apartment stops, and then let's call it like an hour later, those people exit, and the camera feed inside the apartment continues. But it's not like a jammed out type situation, but it
It's
is
an
a
edited out.
no. It looks like somebody was like, and stop recording, and you may continue recording.
Okay, can I grab a snapshot of the people that were in the apartment in case it's useful?
Yeah, no, you can totally have a video of like the layout is consistent before and after they go in, and you can totally have a layout from what is current.
No, I mean a headshot from the people.
Oh, of the sure, you can totally get a picture of man in dark glasses and business suit.
What about employee records? Can I get maybe the picture that was used for his ID or something like that with a role?
Yeah, that's going to be encrypted stuff though, because they don't want people running into it. And as a heads up, decrypt is an attack action.
Yeah, I know. So that's going to be the last thing I do before I leave the host. But
Okay.
do I need to spot that file first, or I don't know?
No, that'll be easy to find.
I'm still gonna perceive it to check what the level of encryption.
Sure. This is a rating 4 host, so it would be a rating 4 encryption.
Oh, that works like that? Okay.
That is more or less what I tend to go by. Like, it could theoretically be significantly higher, but that means that they paid somebody there to sit and just encrypt and encrypt and encrypt and encrypt.
Okay, is there a data bomb on it and the rating?
There is no data bomb now.
Okay, I'm gonna reconfigure.
Sure. So a couple of minutes will go by as you are doing some searching, and the guy that Monday was talking to, register. Are you staying inside the apartment since this took a couple minutes, or are you going to take your, let's say are you looking for like a physical thing or just anything that is a trophy?
Anything, but mainly if there's like an action figure or something like that, some desk tchotchke, anything like that is his number one.
So basically something that you can stick on your
on my own desk at home.
It's like, yes, this is the one that I have taken from
right.
things. There is, let's go with a stuffed duck. Because why not?
Love it.
And not like the bigger ones. Let's say probably about 6 inches or so. So it's something you can put into your pocket and walk away. As hilarious as it would be if it was like one of those large,
like
comically oversized.
Prizes. Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that it's not.
Like, I'm taking this duck. But yeah, no, you can totally take that.
Well, before I leave, I'll pop out a DNI text then. Anything specific I should look for before I leave? This place is pretty run of the mill and uninteresting. No one seems to have any ideas. So we got a picture of Trixie May. I mean, that's something.
You got Trixie May, you got her name, and you got that kind of stuff.
All right, yeah. So I'll just head out, close the door behind me, and then I'll shoot Reaper a DNI, lock the door behind me. I'm out.
Okay. I'm gonna hack the file, not crack it, put a mark on it.
Sure.
Should be okay.
Should be okay. Should be okay.
Is this a Horizon living quarters?
Yeah. Well, no, this is just getting a mark on it. This isn't an actual attack action.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yep, that is gotten marked.
Okay, I'm gonna spoof command to lock the door.
Sure. These damn agent rolls make me want to just immediately begin to throw dice. Are you comfortable with that?
He has 4 dice to resist, right?
That's what we did before.
Yeah. So I'm good.
All right. So,
Now
register
let's
will
just crack the file.
step out and hear a satisfying thunk. Job well done on his stuffed duck as he gives it a little squeeze in his pocket, and it makes one of those squeaky sounds.
Strangest thing ever.
Meanwhile, down with I was gonna go down to Monday because
Okay.
I
I'm
imagine
on
it's one
I'm
of those.
gonna-
If you guys are in communication, I imagine pissing off the host is not what you want to do when somebody's about to talk to the manager. At least that's what I would assume.
One would think.
So we can keep your 8 dice roll because fuck you is basically the only answer I have to that. But let me just mark that down right over here. So as Monday sits there, the young man who was at the desk that she had talked to begins to get more and more nervous as he looks back and forth between her and the office. After about 6 minutes, the door will open. A well-dressed elven man is going to open the door and quickly go from. You can roll me a perception if you want to see how many crazy details you might get out of him,
I could try.
and see if there's anything you want to know about him to use as leverage upon him, because I have a feeling that's where it's going to go.
All right. That's 5. That's pretty
five. So you'll notice he goes from that real quick face switch of grumpy, pissed off, opens the door, and all of a sudden, whoo, hey, happy-go-lucky, smiley car salesman, happy to see you. And
Right.
he will quickly stride across the little lobby to shake your hand. Is there anything you wish to know about him?
good. Does he appear to be on any kind of chemicals to start with?
There is the telltale signs of a little bit of maybe coming down onto the end of some long haul.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
Maybe, end of the day, early tomorrow, he's going to crash kind of thing.
Okay, that's fair. Does his clothes seem to be exceptionally well made for his income?
Um,
I mean,
He-
is he sporting like tailored clothes when he's, you know,
so they
Yeah.
are, in a mechanical standpoint, they are slightly above a medium lifestyle Horizon
Okay.
branded,
that's fair enough.
like a executive suite auction your business clothes type thing. So like generic suit tailored to fit him well, but not exactly
All right,
like he was poured
not
into
high
it.
end stuff.
No,
Okay.
not some kind of crazy amount of.
All right, no, I'm good for now on this. I really don't. I think that's all I pretty much needed. So I'm gonna smile at him and shake his hand. Good afternoon. I was wondering if we should be able to speak in your office, perhaps.
Sure. And let me get a quick name written down for him. Andre L. Reynolds. He will, introduce himself, and
Yep.
as you are, he
And
steps aside to.
Officer Vicky Brissett. And I step inside with him.
He will shoot the guy at the counter a bit of a look, like that J. Jonah Jameson bring me pictures of Spider-Man look.
I don't know that look, but it looks great.
Yeah, he just. Inside will be a modest office. Nothing super extravagant. There is some comm links that are on the table, as if he was in the middle of doing some things. And nothing super fancy that one would expect there's a filing cabinet in the corner, but not like one of the big giant ones we see today, but one of the smaller ones that one might have some physical records of some kind in on, like, I'm imagining the box of Dexter slides that he has his little blood splatters on.
I've never seen the show, but I'll take your word for it.
Sure.
Go ahead. Is that like a Rolodex?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's more of a long box about the size, a bit bigger than a business card.
Oh, index cards. Okay.
Um, And-
So yeah, I'll nod at him. Thank you very much. We are trying to track down one of your residents that seems to have gone missing, and I believe that would probably, as she glances over to his comm links, be something that you'd be interested in as well. As I'm pretty sure that he is behind on his bill by now, and is probably going to be more hassle for you if you have to get rid of his possessions than you necessarily need. So I was curious if you happen to have any offline records of the videos from, and I'm giving him like a month, well, we know he's been living here for a while, so I'll give him like a week before he ended up missing
Sure.
on the 5th floor. He's on the 5th floor?
3rd floor. I rolled
On
a
third
d8 and
floor.
got a 3.
Okay, on the 3rd floor.
So if you want to just give me a quick con roll to cover some of this stuff that is obviously not the truth.
I can do that. And that is going to be 96. Live with that?
Is this a skill wires thing, or is this a...
Nope.
Okay, so you can actually lie.
Yes. And I'm going to edge failures on that because Rob's table.
Yo, I don't want to hear it. He's got 20 dice, got 8 successes. He had 21 dice, got 10 successes earlier. Oh, okay.
I'm good. I'm
Um,
comfortable with that level of success.
That's good. It's a good thing you are
See?
comfortable with that level of success. He's a... When you're late on your rent, he's
I
the
know.
guy that...
That sniffs through the bullshit. Yep.
Yep.
So that's why I wanted to reroll. That's an exceptionally large con pool. I'm proud of him.
Well, he's an elf. You know,
Uh-huh.
elves are good at being lying bastards. So he's going to exchange some pleasantries while you're going through this, and motion to the mess that is on his table and apologize profusely for it, because it's one of those things of like, oh, I wasn't expecting anybody and I was in the middle of
she
some
holds
work.
up his hand like it's no big thing. She's like, you should see some of the people in the CSI. It's amazing that anything gets solved. She nods to him.
He will share a polite chuckle with you as you do the same. I could potentially have some information. What was the tenant that you were looking for?
Well, we would rather not go into details necessarily on which tenant it is, but I'm fairly certain that a man of your caliber would be able to deduce easily enough, and I'm going to lean to him as if sharing a state secret, and I'm going to give him Gordon Ray's name. I think that's what his name is. We're trying to find Mr. Ray.
He will give you a similar lean in of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, alongside the...
People do like feel like they are being brought into secrets.
Yes, they are suckers. It's like, while technically he is not behind on his rent yet, as it is the 26th of February, the odds of me receiving said rent from a man I have not seen in some time is quite low. And, you know, any citizen would be well within their civic duty to help out the star. So if you'll excuse me for just one moment, and he'll do a little spin and then slide his rolly chair, which I imagine by the 6th world makes no noise as it slides, over to his...
What are you saying about my squeaky chair?
I wasn't saying about your squeaky chair, but I have a squeaky chair with wheels, and I haven't heard your chair squeak once tonight.
Because I am on the bed, not in the chair.
Oh.
See,
So he is going to
have your
slide
little
on
sound
over there
problem resolved.
and do a little bit of that rooting where you do your fingers across the top, and he will pull out a a little slide chip thing and put that into one of his comm links, and then shoot you a AR file.
I will smile at him and say thank you very much, as I'm going to give it a brief look over. Which is basically sending it to our decker so he can have it. But she just skims over it. She's like, well, thank you very much for your help. I'm sure this will be of great assistance. And if we do manage to locate him, I will definitely pass along that information. She coughs into her hand, unofficially, of course, to let you know if he will be returning soon enough to take care of his obligations with you.
Before we get into that, can you roll me just a quick composure test?
Quick composure test?
Yep.
I can try that. Let's see here. Not very composed, but we'll see how it goes.
Something about being a wind-up doll might...
Yeah, that's to be a problem.
So as you open up the file and give it that quick peruse, one of the things you will notice is that it has a picture. And that is a picture of Tizit. And with that, we're going to take a brief break to grab a drink, go to the bathroom and all that other stuff, as I imagine somebody is, needs a moment to figure out what his next move is.
Also, what?
So, I'm going to actually stop the recording, which